First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Heal gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, based over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What up? What up? What up? We are back again with another episode of the 3-Man Weave podcast. I am your host, one of your hosts, AJ. And I promise next week, when we start this thing off, I'm gonna remember what episode this is. I gave up, but I'm gonna get us back on track next week. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get us back on track next week.
I won't be here next week, so good luck.
All right, well then, fuck it. I ain't gonna be here next week either because I got a wedding. I'm gonna be in Cincinnati for a wedding anyway, so the wedding ain't until Saturday. But maybe we might bring y'all some special guests. Who knows? We might set y'all up with some special guest hosts. We'll see about that.
Yeah,
we might could do something because we still want to try and feed the streets. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, see what everybody's talking about, man.
Who I got with me today?
But today you got your boy Hill, and Hill gonna heal regardless, baby. Let's get it. Did you introduce yourself? You did.
I did. That's how I started my spiel.
Y'all know y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _ You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. AJ, we got a good icebreaker today.
Hey man, this remember when I said first we just gonna go ahead and get into it first.
Okay.
And then we can start getting to our points. But this episode is about restoring the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what when we had some very large events take place last summer, I said, hey, this could just be some good back and forth competition. And there was some pushback saying, hey, this how can you make that happen? This is how. This is just good. This is just good ass rapping. We got Joey Badass versus the world now.
Now, is this one of those moments where two things can be true? Because it sounds like we was both right in that instance last year when we discussed it.
Yes, in a sense, I'll give you that. But what I will say, remember, it could have been a friendly fade. He should have kept it that way.
Could have.
But
I said the fans ruined that when it came through. We had to pick a side or whatever.
Yeah, the fans ruined it when it came to pick a side. But what I'm saying is it could have stayed that way if the mudslinging didn't start. You know what I'm saying? Or even if the mudslinging started, sometimes it was like
Well, eventually.
But yeah, but we're here now. Let's talk about what we're dealing with now. It happened. So I believe Joey Badass struck first with a freestyle I think it was like a month ago, 2 months ago, or something like that.
It's a good little while ago when he struck first, and I think that he was just, I think he was just really rapping,
just rapping, and but that's what I'm saying, doing like what we kind of used to. Hey, you rapping and you just start mentioning names, and ain't like, hey, I'm letting you. It was kind of like almost like the control verse. Hey, just like, hey, come outside. In a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing personal. Like, hey, we just rapping. And he was kind of shooting up, and he still has been in certain sense. But also, he's getting some responses, and we're getting some great rapping and some great back and forth. So
before we get to the current one with him and like
Ray
him,
Vaughn.
Rayvon, still waiting on Daylight, but Reason responded. I haven't listened to that yet. I do understand that he is shooting up technically, critically acclaimedly wise. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I get that. I understand why Kendrick is not responding, and Kendrick is going to respond in 5 years. So I'm just letting y'all know whenever his next album is coming out, he's going to have a badass
Badass flip.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's going to. He's going to respond because he may not go and engage in a back and forth and do all that, but he's going to respond because the quality of work that Joey is putting out is warranted. It's warranted a response.
It's gonna be one of those. I hear you.
I hear you. It's
I hear you,
gonna be
bro.
one of those I hear you shots. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I think J. Cole should have responded. And I don't, and J. Cole did not have to. He didn't have to go back and forth, but I do think that he should have responded and don't think it's sweet over here. Like,
Right.
listen, I did apologize for Kendrick and Drake for that, jumping into that and all that.
And this is what and remember what we talked about was like, hey, that's really how J. Cole can kind of like, I guess, get back into kind of good graces of some people, if you want to say it like that, because they look at him certain ways. And like we said, he's going to like, he put himself in this position to be getting all of these shots. I won't even call them strays. Like you put yourself out there like to get these shots. And I think this is like, Gibbs or Joey were like they're like two of like the perfect, not victims, but like opponents. That's the word I'm looking for. Opponent. They're two worthy opponents where it's like they can rap. They came out at you, and it don't look like you just trying to like punch down just to try and build your name back up. In a sense, even though you may be able to look at it like they're trying to use my name to elevate themselves, because it's kind of that is in a sense how you can view it, but also this is your opportunity to be like, I was in a different conversation than y'all.
And that's the thing. It's like especially if you responded to Gibbs. I even forgot about that, but it's like it's the you're going to have to Gibbs is going to give like multiple responses. Like you're going to have to engage in the back and forth. So I get the fact that it's like, if you really don't want to get into a back and forth, because we know the rules have changed in beef now. Like you got 24 hours to respond, and you better respond to this, and you got to respond to this, and you got to respond to this, and you got to respond to this. Like but I understand if you're not prepared to engage into that, and then don't start.
Right. But my thing is that whole like, oh, you have 24 hours to respond thing, that is new. Like there was never like like it was never that like, oh, you gotta jump right in, immediately. Like as soon as you do it, you have to be waiting in the booth as soon as it happens. Like, go ahead. What were you gonna
say? It seems new. Let me say that. But if we start to go out through history, like dudes were responding extra fast. Like, and we think about New York dudes and essentially like dudes was going straight to Hot 97 and
that's the thing.
Off.
They were going to radio stations and perform and just doing it right then and there. Now, when we kind of like have ushered into like this world of like, not even just this world of responding, because it's been happening, but when you actually respond on like an hour, when you respond,
don't tip me.
Hey, bars is always ready.
Just need a target. That's all.
When you actually are responding on albums and stuff like that, especially because mixtape culture is pretty much dead almost, because a lot of times people are playing the streaming game, because that's a lot of times when we heard stuff too was in mixtapes. But even still, there was times where it's like you would go weeks, you would go even months sometimes. It wasn't like even like especially something of this magnitude, like Ether and Takeover weren't like back to back. What was it? Piggy Bank and what was the other one that 50 Cent released? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like those weren't like immediate, like just responses and stuff like that.
But once again, we think about Ether and Takeover. Boom! Once Ether dropped, Super Ugly was the next day. If you remember, you feel what I'm saying?
Right. But what I'm saying also, what I'm saying, no, like Takeover and Ether weren't close, and those are kind of like the two main ones. And Super Ugly did come, very shortly after. But I'm saying it's not mandatory. Like it was never just like, oh, it's been 24 hours. Oh, it's been 48 hours. Oh, it's been like, because like remember after I believe it was what push-ups. It was like a daily countdown. Oh, when is Kendrick responded? When is Kendrick responded? Even though push-ups didn't come immediately after like that, because J. Cole ended up responded first. You know what I mean? So it's like,
because we think about when back-to-back hit, like when we think about how he did with back-to-back, and we haven't gotten real beef since dealing with the boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when back-to-back hit, like remember he hit him with Charged Up and he was still waiting. And like I said, I gave y'all 4 days. Where y'all at? Like he set the bar with the timeline. So now he's giving, the timeline thing. That's the rules have been altered now. But like let's get back to what we got going on now. The Red Bull Free Cypher, was a good cypher.
Poor Big Sean.
Poor Big.
Poor Big Sean. Hey, is he the modern day Nas?
As far as what?
Because as far as trying to have his moment, because remember every single time, Nas tried to have his moment, here comes Jay-Z doing something to step on it, overshadow. It seems like every single person in the industry does something on the day that Big Sean had. I feel like it almost feel like it's personal at this point, because didn't he drop a track when one of the initial Drake and Kendrick tracks dropped? Like dog, like he can't catch a break. I felt like it was like a single that like he's been like promoting and everything. Like dog, like yeah, I don't never bother nobody.
Yeah, it's like at some point, like at some point. Now this one, I would laugh at. Like I would let the jokes hit and like, you know what? This is funny. But the next one, if it happens again, I gotta make an example out of somebody. Somebody gotta catch something. You know what I'm saying? And,
you got to tell Janae all that Zen yoga and shit. That's out the window. We got somebody gonna have to hear me, goddamn it.
Yeah, because I gotta set the bleeding stops now.
Even the controllers.
That's where it started. The cipher was a good cipher. I think Big Sean did set the tone. Like I said, he gave Vintage like some good bars. I'm like, oh my god, like this was good. I'm really not an Ab-Soul fan. I'm just gonna be honest with you. He didn't ruin the cipher, is what I would say. I wasn't feeling. I'm not feeling him, but I'm not saying that it was trash. I'm just saying that
it's not your cup of tea. And I can understand that. To me, Ab-Soul, I really like his albums. This wasn't his like greatest verse or anything like that.
Yeah.
And also, it's like you was in the middle, and
it didn't matter what he said.
Yeah, it did. It didn't matter because the star of the show was coming up after you.
Yeah, and it was actually better for him to be in the middle pause.
Yeah,
because like I said, Big Sean set the tone. He didn't ruin it, and then the alley-oop was right there for.
Yeah, to me that was like a good like when you go to a comedy show, it's like you got your host who hold it down and get the crowd going, then you bring out the opener. The opener don't ruin the moment, don't get the crowd pissed off because they bombing or nothing like that. They're getting everybody warmed up for the main event, and Joey he popped out, and to me like I saw it was the day before Jeremy Heck had tweeted it and was like, real hip hop fans are going to be happy tomorrow.
Okay.
And so people were like scrambling, like, damn, what's about to happen? Who, like, you know, what's going on? What's about to drop? People, you know, kind of doing the, you know, trying to do the science. Like, real hip hop fans are going to be real happy tomorrow. And then unexpectedly, basically, we get, you know, a Red Bull hip hop cipher with Sean, Soul, and Joey. I don't know who, you know, thought of that idea.
Yeah.
But kudos, who put that roster together? Great job. Also, let's see more of it.
Yeah, that's what, and we had a conversation about that. Like I said, we should definitely see more of this coming up, and we thought of some combinations as well. But I knew I wasn't tripping, and I asked you this question personally. I was like, "Yo, Joey's acting different," and you was like, "Nah, bro, he always been spitting." I'm like, "All right,
but what was my caveat?
He never had a target, never had an opponent,
never had a target."
And that was true, but I was like, bro, hold on, bro. I've listened to his albums, and I'm like, I ain't never heard him talk like this. But like you said,
never ever. You act
like this is, I'm like, this is spicy. And then like, and anybody knows how my musical taste, like when it comes to like I gravitate to punchlines. And
for sure.
He was giving he was giving me punchlines, and I'm like, hold on, I'm not known for him to be a puncher, you know what I'm saying? But the way he was setting it up was like, oh, these is punches with double entendres. I'm like, oh yeah, this is amazing, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that Rayvon immediately responded and had a video, like,
hey,
you had
that was dope. I ain't gonna front. Like, I'll fuck with that.
And I listened to Wayno's response, and Wayno tried to do his best caveat of trying to be objective, but he was like, you know, I am from New York, I understand, blah blah blah, and he had his New York bias just unintentionally started to come out. He was like, I really wanted Rayvon to just rap. He didn't want to hear a song. And the song, he was kind of reminding him, trying to be like Kendrick. And I was like, I get what you're saying.
But so, and I actually saw someone, you know, because as you know, us going to Virginia State, we do, you know, interact with some New Yorkers, and I'm pretty sure you know this. Well, I do know you know this person there, you know, very New York bias as well. And they said the same thing. They was like, Rayvon, you know, like he was like, Joey cooked him. Rayvon basically like he didn't show up. This ain't what you want, and all you did was use the Kendrick flow the entire song. And I'm like, to me, that's New York bias, because you just think because one kind of like because he sounds a certain way that is the Kendrick flow, but also it's just like that's like saying, oh, you know, different, like, you know, BFB the Pac-Man is using Sada Baby flow or something like that. Like, nah, that's just how they rap in Detroit, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's the cadence and stuff like that. So I don't think it was him using the flow. I just think that it's a part of kind of the style in a sense.
This is the part of the dialogue of breaking stuff down that I like tend to fall back from. You know,
right? Because this is where it's like the fan base can kind of ruin things.
Not
overthinking it.
And that's the word I'm going to go for. I'm not going to say they're not going to ruin it. I'm just going to say that, like I say, now we're getting too technical, and now we're going to start to lose the appreciation for what's really going on. Like,
it's supposed to be fun.
But like, because I do understand, like, it is like, okay, you try to take the Kendrick flow, okay, or you try to take the Kendrick sauce. Why wouldn't you? It just worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, it just worked. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know,
and look, shit, you said you keep calling out Kendrick. All right, Kendrick here now. I got Kendrick. I got Kendrick light. We got Kendrick at home.
You feel what I'm saying?
This is what you gonna get.
It worked. Like I said, I get it. If you're a real musical person, you want to get technical and you break it down. You want to go. You really want to go to the upper echelon. You want to have a real conversation. I get it. I do get it. But it's like we could have waited for that conversation. Like, let's not ruin the moment with this technical ass conversation.
Yeah,
like
break down the bars, break down the tracks, all of that. But
it's kind of like it's and I know this is going to sound bad, but just kind of hear me out. We need to first take this one. Let's first take it. Let's have a conversation like first take first. And then once it's like over or it's further out,
Then
now
we break
let's
down
get
the
it.
film.
Let's go to PFF style and break down the film and
Yeah.
let's get down to the analytics of the bar breakdown. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Let's not ruin the moment first. Let's hyperbole. Oh, this is the best beef ever. You know what I'm saying? Let's say something, not say something like that, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
But and
let's
you know,
appreciate
I think,
what we're seeing right now.
but also this is kind of I think this is kind of where we're at, unfortunately,
Yes, we are.
because no one is like, to me, it's like now no one is actually doing this stuff, like making their like forming their opinions off of just enjoyment. Like, just enjoy it. Like, enjoy the music, listen to the music, and just, you can talk about it, but everything doesn't have to be, oh, this is trash. This is trash. Like, just because this one doesn't necessarily resonate with you, or because you're a fan of this person more, that don't necessarily mean it was trash. It like it doesn't, because again, I
Yes.
take it like when Peyton Manning and Tom Brady meet in the playoffs. One got to lose. Don't mean one trash.
Mm-hmm.
You may be a fan of one more than the other. You may have one as your GOAT and one ain't, or whatever the case may be. Well, it don't mean that these ain't two bad motherfuckers. Don't mean that you're not about to see something from both sides that you may have never seen before. You like, this is something like we haven't heard stuff like this in a while. Like
Yes. I mean,
like a lot, and a lot of it, like from like what we've heard, has been like what and my thing is, what we've heard also, when we've like lately, when we hear beef like diss tracks, dudes really end up dying.
yeah, like,
And I didn't like, we don't like that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hear, smoking on, your opposite stuff like that. And then dudes actually end up dying over that. We don't want that. We want the enjoyment of just the music and the back and forth. And like, y'all could like, y'all go do a track together after, hang out after, or whatever the case may be, or do it. I know they weren't in the studio when this happened, but like when Ludacris and T.I. was on the same song, dissing each other.
yeah, that was
Like,
a setup, bro. Like,
yeah, it was definitely a setup, but
you did come up with an idea. Like, they could come up with a whole back and forth type of going at each other type of style. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I would do it because like, and like I had this thought when they were doing this, because of like the way Ray Vaughn and Joey Badass like styles are when they rap, and actually when they rap in their music. Like, what, like, what would be so dope if if some dudes did this and like almost did like a mixtape, but like did it Jada and Styles P back and forth style, almost like
a whole mixtape.
Okay, EP, just a couple of songs, but like, and do something like that. That would be dope, where it's like you can have that competition. But like, bro, the reason why a lot of music don't feel the way it used to feel is dudes record this stuff in their house, they send it to an engineer or producer on over email, and nobody's ever around each other. What if like dudes was actually in the booth and like actually competed? Because like, oh, he said that, let me change up let me flip this bar, hold on, let me think of something else. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, you can start really truly bringing the best out of people. And I think this is where we're it feels like we're starting to get to. We're, like I said, the feeling feels like it's starting to be restored.
It could get that way if there was really no real animosity. Like,
right.
I don't really know.
I don't think there's real animosity here, because first he was like, Joey was just on stage with Soul. So
I mean, we've all slapboxed before.
For sure.
And slap boxing has never started off malicious.
Yeah.
Until that one slap that's a little too hard. It
And
becomes
we seen what Joey Badass did to dude in that sneaker shop a couple months ago.
You feel what I'm saying? So like that, they could be like, hey, look, what's up? Pop, 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 and then
But to me, that's why,
because he mentioned it, he mentioned his fiance, he mentioned his girl. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really that malicious, but like I say, now you teetering the line.
Right. But I think this is where we need to actually we need to make sure this shit is wrestling. Where it's like have those conversations
yeah,
you can have them conversations behind the scenes. Like have them conversations, talk like, all right, like, hey bro, I'm about to come back with one now. Stuff like that where you could.
Yeah, I'm glad you said behind the scenes, because if they got on IG Live and started doing it, then all of a sudden we would be so hurt. Like we would just be mad just for no reason. Like, I don't care what you got to say no more. Like,
because it in the COE cloudy generation, and but like you say, like, and again, not everything, like not every conversation has to be made public. So again, to me, it's just like, hey, you can have those conversations, like, be like, you could, bro, just send a text, be like, I'm about to smoke that. like that's it. I'm about to smoke you.
I thought about your idea though. I thought that's where you was going when you said they could come up with a joint EP.
Yeah,
I think they can go with. I think they could. It should be 5 songs. First song,
just some short.
You shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I respond. I shoot. You respond, and then the last song is the Jada kiss type stuff. Like
shit, yeah,
we on the same joint. We wrote at the same time. We're not writing. We're not co-writing. We just here's my verse. Here's your verse. We laying it. Boom at the same time. Pause. Whatever. And this is it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got. We was not supposed to take this long.
20 this, bro, almost 30 minutes.
That's what happened when you restore the feeling, man.
Because this is, to be quite honest, I don't know, like, for the force, I don't know if y'all know, I don't always be wanting to talk about sports, because half the time, don't shit really be happening. So this is fun. Back.
We just kind of alluded to it, because sometimes it gets too technical.
Yeah, it takes the fun out of it.
Like, oh my God, he lost his legacy. What is his legacy going to do about, like, it's like, bro, they just lost to a better team, bro. Like, it
and guess what? Even sometimes better teams lose. You could be the better team and lose a couple times. It happens. What I miss?
It scored 60-34. Knicks is up.
Excuse me?
60-34. The Knicks is up. But when we get there, we'll really talk about. But speaking of it,
JB.
Let me see what he got.
Yeah, but JB.
He is the only one that showed up.
Okay, all right.
Hey, he is literally. He got 15.
He got 15.
Derrick White got 2. Drew Holiday got 4. Al Horford got 4. Luke Kennett 5. Porzingis 4. Pritchard nothing. Hauser nothing. Like, ain't nobody showed up but him. So
yeah. Okay. All
right. No JV slander. Hey,
no JV slander will be tolerated today, because
he got 18. He's 7 for 12. He the only one that showed up. So hey, do your thing, my brother. No slander whatsoever.
He the only one. He's
literally the only one that showed up.
Only one other player has 5.
That is nasty, right? So,
bro, and we in the second,
yeah. So but look, it'll be one of those things that next thing you know, we got to blow up the Celtics. We have to blow up the Celtics. Since
we here, let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and get to it, because, again, it really is where do you go from here with the Tatum injury? Because he's most likely going to miss all of next season.
As he should.
And so it's like there has already been that conversation about, Tatum, Brown, and stuff like that. And this team is getting expensive. And you made this, you paid this team because this was a championship team.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do now? You just go at it and just run it without Tatum and just like, hey, JB, you're the guy now, or what? Like, what do you do?
It is the time to reconfigure. It's time to have some real conversations to understand what are you going to be with this team.
Right.
You are not a championship team without Jayson Tatum. I do not care about however you feel about Batman, who number 1A, 1B, whatever you're trying to say, whatever you're trying to convince yourself. I would say the same thing if Jaylen Brown had got injured. You are
For
not
sure.
a championship team without Jaylen Brown. So I'm not disrespecting anybody in this situation. What I am saying is keep it real with yourself.
Yep.
All right, boom. Tatum is not going to be here next year. All right, understand that. Don't try to sell yourself on, oh, we'll get somebody with the injured player exception. They can just step in, they can fill up, and we can just go ahead and run it back. And with this team is still deep enough to be a contending team. Do not sell yourself on that. Let's get smart as a front office and try to make different moves. Move on from Porzingis. Try to move on from him and start to get multiple pieces that fit, like you did with the Derek White, like you did with the Drew Holiday, like you found all these, like Peyton Pritchard, like you found all these other pieces.
Yep.
Move on from somebody like that to try to find other pieces and let those other pieces develop through next year. And then when you insert a Tatum, now you're feeling like a whole new roster and you're elevating them again. It's like you're elevating this team again and you're getting back to where you left off. Somebody also like a Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is getting older. You know what I'm saying?
Time to move on and clear that money out.
Go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and try to make decisions. Hey, Al Horford, we love you, my brother. It's time to go home, dog. Like, it's time to go home. Don't just necessarily say you got to blow this up and
Right.
Say, oh man, we got to blow this up now. I get it. This is expensive roster, and you were just willing to pay this expensive ass price tag because you were thinking you were going to win. And if he did not get injured, hey, it's a possibility that maybe they would have came back in this series. Who knows? And you would have still went on to achieve the goals that you strived out to be. But let's not, like I said, at the same time, all I'm asking you to keep it real.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And however you come through that realization is how you come about it. But let's not just go blow this up. You know what I'm saying? Because because of an injury. It's like, all right, man.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say like, and so because I know how like you and I we differ sometimes on certain things. And so I did hear on another podcast, I want to say it was Club 520, where they were kind of going through some different options for certain teams. And one of the ones that they mentioned was trading Jaylen Brown. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess, like, but they mentioned trading them to Houston. Houston wants a kind of a player, but I don't know if they would be able to swing it for the player that they want, because I think the player that they mentioned might be the one that they want to build around in Houston, and that was the Thompson twin. And basically it's like you get a younger Jayson Tatum, a younger Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And without Tatum there all of next year, it allows him to kind of, try and grow into, that role, allows him to make those mistakes. Hey, dog, start putting up some shots. Work on this shot. And Tatum not going to be here anyway, so you'll probably get a lottery pick also. And then you come back with Tatum, Thompson, and a lottery pick. And I was like, well, when you mention it that way, because to me, then that also prolongs, like, to me, if you hit on, kind of that pick, it also, to me, prolongs your window too. And then you also get that 10th pick from them.
That's also one of those deals that it does benefit both teams.
I think so as well. Especially if you're committed to Jalen Green.
Because it gives you that dynamic of him and Tatum again, so you know how to work. It's one of those. It does benefit both teams. I think in that deal though, I think you would get a Reed. I think you could probably get a Reed Shepherd too.
I wasn't just saying like that's going to be it, but I'm saying like just kind of like the important building blocks are the important pieces of that
one of
deal.
them options.
Yeah. I think it's a man.
Or sure, one of them.
One of them. They twins. They probably switch places just like the Morris twins.
But that's not that's the deal that you can have a discussion about. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what?
And that's why I want. That's why like it really like that truly intrigued me because I'm like, damn, that kind of like to me, both teams can kind of not necessarily get what they're looking for, but that benefits both teams on paper.
Yeah, but don't talk to me if you ain't coming with deals like that. Don't come to me don't come to me for Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? Don't come to me like that. Now,
that's why
Porzingis. You know what I'm saying? You know,
bro, whatever, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You can talk to me about Jay.
Put his ass in quarantine first, because what the fuck has he got?
You can talk to me about Daniel Gafford. You know what I'm saying? and Porzingis and stuff like that. You can talk to me about Mark Williams. That almost got traded to the Lakers. You can talk to me about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you're gonna talk Jaylen Brown, we need to talk turkey for real.
Yeah, we need to talk for real. You know what I'm saying? Drew Holiday, we talk. Hey, you know what? And you really want to Drew Holiday? You want to go to Orlando? Send Jalen Suggs over here. Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, give him a veteran president.
Veteran president.
Maybe they'll send saying something
exactly.
Like that. I'll talk about stuff like that. But like I say.
When you come and talk about Jaylen Brown, bro, you will get hung up on.
Yeah. So I just think that I think that, like I said, I know I may not have given a legitimate, like, cemented answer about the Jayson Tatum injury. I just hope Jayson Tatum take your time, my brother. Take this full year, heal up properly, and then train for the full year. With
LMA.
Do your thing, bro, and really just focus on
club up
and focus.
Shoot it.
Focus.
Shoot it.
Focus on getting 100% healthy, bro. Because when you get 100% healthy, you are going to be back as Tatum. You want to come back as Tatum. You do not want to come back as a shell of yourself. I know this is a severe basketball injury, and people are not necessarily the same. I do not agree with Bomani to the sense of he was like, this is like career altering. It's only going to be career altering if he tries to rush back.
And so I almost kind of get what he's saying when it's going to be career altering, but not career ending.
Yeah,
because it can be career altering because it could because just like we see with other, like in football with ACL, yeah, you may come back, like when you come back, but also it may take you another season to kind of get back to where you were in a sense. So it could be like he's going to miss all of next year. That's going to be the 2026 season. And then so when he comes back to the 2027, 2028 season, that season, he might not look like himself because he's working his way back into things. And then you kind of got to play catch up and you got to, deal with the I believe it's called atrophy, the muscle imbalances and trying to get your confidence back and stuff like that. And so there is some things that, you do have to work back on. And because you do certain, when it happens, it usually is always just something so damn routine that just getting your confidence back and pushing off is really a big thing as well. And so I think that, again, I don't that's what I think where it's like the time that it takes to get back, that's career altering. But I don't, like you said, I don't think it's defining he'll never be the same. Career altering to me means it might take you a while to be back to who you were.
You remember when Paul George snapped his leg?
Yes.
He came back that next season at the end of the season.
But what do we always talk about, especially like with football? Like shit, sometimes you rather break it than tear something. Just like even like with the sprained ankles, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I get it, and I get it, but he also still came back for nothing. It wasn't. Sure. They wasn't close to. They wasn't in the playoffs. They wasn't in nothing. You just came back to hoop. Why? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why? I don't care what the seeding is, what the Celtics season is going, and what you can possibly do for them next year. If you, like I say, if you are ready for, let's say he's ready in May, right before the playoff, the month right before the playoff, he's ready for the finish the last 2 weeks. Like, what are you coming back for? Like, no.
Remember, was it last year when the Sixers was like, "Oh, we can get Embiid back for the playoffs"? Like, maybe you want to just let him. Hey, let him just sit this one out. Get fully healthy.
He
But
had no business being in the Olympics.
Exactly, and that's truly where I really agree with Habistro and Bomani, where it's like some of these injuries are wear and tear injuries because like you're like, because again, like I remember it happened with Richard Sherman, where it was like he was dealing with that, just like the Achilles tendonitis, and it's just like basically they telling him like, hey, just play on it until it goes, type thing, pretty much. And then it just eventually went, because it's just like, again, like you're constantly running, jumping, and pushing, and you're playing all of these games, and your body don't never have, like, you're doing so many repetitive things from this one sport, and you're really never giving your body a break. And damn near we've professionalized 8-year-old basketball players now. So it's like they're playing, 80, 100 games a season, and then you get to college, and then you play your normal season. But then once you get into the pros, now you got like you say, like you got dudes playing Olympics, you got the FIBA World Cup, you got players going deep into the playoffs every single season. And it's just like, when are you, like, yes, you may take care of your body, but when are you just giving your body a break?
Yeah, and we was definitely supposed to go in depth with that subject, but we spent a little bit too much time. But we got time, because that's one of those topics that we still can get off.
It could be evergreen. I think that's an evergreen topic.
So let's move on, man. We got a game 7, man, and my prediction for this series was completely wrong, and I'm so glad I was wrong. Like, bro, we got a game 7, and these games have been legit. Like,
and to be quite honest, I'm shocked that we got to this game 7. I thought, like, okay, you might get, I thought Denver might pull out a game, maybe 2. So for them to get to game 7, I'm like, damn.
It was like once again, like I said, game 1, when they had no business winning that game, is the reason why we're here at game 7, bro. Like, you can't
just give away games.
You can't give away games, and then you can't let a championship pedigree team have confidence in themselves that they can do this. You know what I'm saying? You need to have them thinking that, we just don't have it. Aaron Gordon is doubtful for this game because of the hamstring, and once again, we get to another injury. Gets to the playoff, we get to this wear and tear. Without Aaron Gordon, it's definitely hard. It's hard to pick the Nuggets. They already didn't have a bench. Like, they wasn't coming off the bench with nobody of significance other than Strother, whatever his name is.
Right.
Like, he had a game last time, but it's not like they have a deep bench to go at, to come with. So it's like losing Gordon is like significant. So it's like I can't like definitively say the Nuggets are going to win, and knowing that I think Jokic might have another 40 and 20 game, it's like,
and that's the one part, and that's one reason why I said,
they normally lose when he does that.
Yeah, but it's just like he really could just make some shit happen, and who knows?
But they know he's had these games all year, and they have lost, bro. Like every video game stat he's had this year came with an L, bro. It's weird.
Yeah,
like he's had 40 point games, 20 rebound games, 30 triple doubles, and 20 games, and all those amazing video game stat number games is attached with the L, bro. Like, I do not get it.
And it's truly crazy now, especially considering like he out there playing coach too. Like, you doing all of this and playing coach, and it's just like, dog, like,
I don't know how I feel about that. it's like, okay, he was playing coach, Westbrook playing coach. It's like, okay, is Adelman not doing nothing? It's like he's not doing nothing. I tend to not believe that.
Okay.
Because
I can respect that.
We've never seen NBA coaching in the playoffs like not matter. Like we've never, like, other than a LeBron James team, let's say that, we've never sit there and be like, man, that coach didn't do anything. Like never.
Okay. But
Like,
you know what?
Correct me if I know the players has got, the players got to do it, and players, you put the players in position, the players is out there and all that. But we've never seen an NBA coach of a good team just out there do nothing.
But also, hey, Mark Daigneault, he had some blunders in this series, and I think that's also one of the reasons why this ended up going to 7.
But that is my point.
So again, I'm not so maybe like so to me, there are certain things where it's like, hey, Adelman may not, I don't like, he may not be a difference maker, but Mark
he ain't in the way.
But he ain't in the way. Mark Daigneault, I think he might have lost at least 2 games in this series for them.
I know he lost game 1.
Yeah, like
I know he lost game
1. Game 1 at minimum was like, bro, what are you doing? And so to me, like, when we had that conversation of, the championship pedigree and stuff like that.
Yep.
And and I rebutted it.
But now in this particular instance,
and I'm actually not even talking about when it comes to the players. I'm talking about Mark Daigneault though. Like, that's when I'm like, yo, you doomed your team. You put your team behind the 8 ball.
Bro, we seen it with JJ, with the Lakers. We was like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This, like, all right, boom. Now, what happened when the one of them games that the Celtics lost, and they just shot so many threes that we were like, bro, Joe Mazzulla, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, we definitively pointed to that. We was like, okay, boom. Every time, okay, what happened last year when the Knicks was wore down and everybody was like, come on, Tibbs, bro, play somebody else. Like, please give somebody a rest. Do something. We definitively pointed out something that a coach did. Matter of fact, boom, Steve Kerr. Bro, the book is out on you, bro. Every time that he think he need to make an adjustment, his go-to move is go small.
No, yep.
Like, bro, we get it. We get it. You've won by going small before. Bro, that ain't gonna cut it, dog. Like, you are going to, when they have figured, bro, I get it. Right, you like boxing. Ryan Garcia, what is it? Hit left hook, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the left hook ain't working, don't you gotta do something else, right?
Absolutely.
All right, bro.
To me, you shouldn't come to a game and only have a plan B prepared.
And that's your job. Your job is to be prepared.
Your job, because you can't only come with a plan B and then they pull out their plan B and their plan B starts working and now you just stuck with plan B.
It's like, oh man, I gotta go smaller. Like, come on, like
what you gonna go put Muggsy Bowles now? Like,
that's why I have a hard time about discrediting Adam. And maybe, like you just said, maybe he figured it out. Hey, look, I ain't gonna get in the way. Maybe that is a self-awareness of coaching aspect that I'm just maybe I am giving him credit.
My old baseball coach, shout out to Coach Dino. All he would say is, we're going to, like, we were one of those small ball teams, play small ball, bunt runners over, hustle on throws. I mean, hustle down, like, infield, ground balls, steal bases. And his thing was, y'all are 14. We're just going to have to, like, we're going to make them play perfect. We're just going to put pressure on them to force them to play perfect. And we're going to capitalize on their mistakes. So when you just play that small ball, when you hustle, when you run out ground balls, when you get your sacrifice flies, You're hustling down the first base line. They're gonna overthrow the ball. They're gonna dirt it. When you steal bases, they're gonna throw it in center field and give you an extra base. When you bunt runners over, they're gonna throw it into the stands.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes your life easier. And I think that may be what Adelman's doing. It's just like, hey, especially after what he's seen game one.
Oh yeah, they go trick it.
Let me just do what we've been doing, and we've been keeping it close for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Dagnall, when he's going to try and go to his plan C or plan B, he might fuck it up.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go OKC, especially with Aaron Gordon, but
I ain't confident at all, bro.
I'm not confident. I'm not confident. I'm going OKC.
Because I talked to you, I think that last Sunday, I text you like, hey, look, bro.
If they lose this, it's over.
And they was losing, and then they came back and won. It's like, all right, man, but you can't keep doing that, bro.
Yeah.
Man, but once again, man, like I said in the group the other day, that I'm like, I could repost this this playoff has been exciting, man. Like this is the
back to restoring the feeling. This just feels like it's exciting. Like,
yeah.
And we're seeing good games. We're seeing teams that match up well. We're seeing good performances. We're seeing some historical performances. We're seeing some breakout players have some good games, like Luke Cornett last game to really just kind of come back with that, win one for the Gipper energy for Tatum. We've seen Tyrese Halliburton, kind of stake his claim as a star, when people call him overrated.
It was only 13 players that voted.
I'm not surprised.
Somebody posted that in the group. I was supposed to add you in that. I think it was Chris. I think Chris Godwin. I think he posted it in the group that only that Rachel Nichols reported. Only 13 players reported voted for him being over.
Probably 8 of them was Milwaukee Bucks.
You feel what I'm saying? And then they ran with it like it was it was so easy to run with it because he's not well liked. Like we don't even research it. We were like, we don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but let's wrap it up, man, with the
W's back. Hey, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, man. I'm gonna just come out and say it.
Go ahead.
You see that addition to HVL?
Yeah.
My Sky. We gonna do it this year, dog. Hey. Tomorrow against the Fever. Hey, I'm locked in. My Chicago Sky, we coming out strong. You feel me? Coming out strong.
Talk to her, man.
What's up with Brinks truck, man?
Brinks back.
Hey, let's
go. You know what I'm saying? Brinks back. You know what I'm saying? She about to put the podcast to the, for the side. You know what I'm saying? But hold on. No, we ain't got Kelsey over there, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got Kelsey over there.
Man, hey, I was so tight they moved on from Kelsey. I'm like, bro, what is y'all doing? I fuck with Kelsey, yo.
And like, I think she's definitely going to be a well-needed addition. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a really good piece for the Sparks.
Like I say, championship, pedigree, and like I say, she, what she do. Like I say, what she do. Like I say, Brinks coming back. Brinks was showing what she can do. Said before pre-ACL. So like I'm excited. But the other moves that like we had an opportunity to discuss the offseason that the WNBA had, and it was one of the most exciting off seasons that they've ever had. Let's just go and say it. With the player movement that they had, with some of the teams getting immensely better. Like
for sure.
Like with some of the moves that they made, like, oh my God, y'all got hurt too. It's like it was something that mainstream media had an opportunity to take a day from talking about the Cowboys. You take a day from, is Jalen Hurts top 5? Like you could have took a day of LeBron and MJ. Like we could have took a day just not discuss that and give these women their just due. Like, you could have waited till the offseason was over and had a whole segment about what they've done, because the offseason that they had deserves that. It deserved to be discussed. You know what I'm saying? On the major platforms. And I get it. We didn't discuss it. We planned on it. We missed the episode, and then once we missed the episode, we missed the window. But bro, who the hell is we? We ain't nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they dropped the ball on that, man.
And
like,
and
you
again,
didn't have to just talk about Caitlin Clark. Like, you had a whole opportunity to discuss everybody else.
And also, let's just talk about the genius of having the unrivaled league as well. So to add to the kind of the spotlight, I'll say, of women's basketball, they was out there hooping and they was getting to it, and now they jumping into the regular season. And Miss King, she said, and they waived over 50 plus players. Vets getting waived too. Nobody safe. And that's the thing. Because there's been a lot of times first round picks don't even get to make teams because of just like they've been running out. Like I said, you got 12 spots for 12 teams.
Yeah.
It's only so many bodies you can throw out there. I think they're expanding to 15 teams now. So you'll start to get, a couple other players, that'll be able to start sticking around. But there's plenty of WNBA caliber players that get moved on from rosters for, a myriad of reasons. And it's strictly because they don't have an opportunity to just kind of put people on like their draft picks on rosters for development, because they're like the roster spots are so slim. You know what I'm saying? It's only, like I said, it's only been 12 teams with 12 players, that they've been allowed to have. And so another reason I think that Unrivaled is going to be helpful is, it's just another opportunity for, other people to be able to play. And
Miss King, I need you to validate this question right here.
So-
Did someone get their contract void because they got hurt in the rivals?
So this actually, she did. I can't remember her name. So if Miss King, if you could throw her name in the chat, that would be helpful. But I did hear that her unrivaled insurance policy, will cover her WNBA salary. Yeah, Hamilton. So I believe the unrivaled, like she had an insurance policy for playing in unrivaled, and so because she got hurt, she's not going to get her WNBA salary, but
the insurance
basically the insurance kicked in, so from unrivaled, so that's going to cover her salary.
Asia Wilson said something last year in the discussion when of the Caitlin Clark hoopla, right? And I'm not saying that to be dismissive. She was emphasizing that she was like, yo, our league is hard. Like, it's hard to get in. It's hard to make it. And I know it was reported, Caitlin Clark made the team, and people was looking like, bro, of course she was going to make the team. No, it was not, of course, that she was going to make. Okay, it was, of course, that she was going to make the team. Let me get that right. But other
first round picks.
Like the 6th overall pick this year did not make the team.
Think of it basically like Michael Williams getting cut by the 49ers.
Yeah.
The 11th pick in the draft, he gets cut. But it's strictly because, hey, there's so many good players. We don't have time to just bring you along slowly.
Yeah. And like I said, with the expansion of the league, I think that should be able to help some of these players, some of these top players that get to stick around. But I think, I guess, I do want to emphasize that they had an opportunity to discuss some of the it was a lot of movement, and it's losing me right now because my power was off and I had to deal with the girls. But it was a lot of player movement, bro. It was like for real, and like these
player all of that,
and the free agency, and what it did was, like you say, it kind of recalibrated the power of some of these teams, and you had an opportunity to discuss other things and other players before you started to just piggyback on Caitlin Clark. Like I get it. I seen a post the other day where they did a survey about some of the awards and some of the things that's coming on, and Caitlin Clark was on like every one, and naturally I'm like, all right, bro, like come on. But then I'm sitting there like, yo, Shorty's great. Like I get it. I do understand it. Like I get it. She is great. So, but it's like use this. Not and they are doing the work.
For sure.
It was like I just still feel that they dropped the ball. But I'm gonna tell you right now, before we move on, before we leave, it's something that pissed me off. And it was and I hated how they did it. Yo, I love Paige Beckers, buckets. You know how we get down, UConn all day. I love her to death. I hope everything, I hope she's great. And I know she's gonna get crazy. And I know it's weird, and I know we always assume that okay, number 1 overall pick just equates to straight trash, right? It don't necessarily work out like that for the WNBA for some reason. Like I don't know how they number 1 picks come about. Like that team just don't be necessarily all the way just ass. You know what I'm saying? Like so during preseason, she made a play. It's an amazing play. And the play was, oh man, she just make her players better. Bro, she passed the ball to Enrique. What we not about to do is act like
we are not
like
she ain't one of them ones.
Like that's and I got so upset. I'm like, yo, we are not about to do this. Like I said, I get it. Paige is one of them ones too. I get it. But what we not about to do is to try to minimize somebody else because we just want to put Paige on the pedestal. Like
it's like, hey guys, you don't have to do this. You like you just got here. Like start learning about some of these players because they can hoop. And that's what I wanted to ask Miss King while she was in here. I wanted to get her thoughts on it because when you brought up Caitlin Clark leading, in a lot of these categories, she's leading and she's the favorite to win MVP this year. And so I want to see, but I was gonna ask her who she had for MVP, but she dropped it right in the chat. So
I need her.
Collier for WNBA MVP, and that to me that's a good pick though.
I need to see more personality from her.
Yeah,
I need to see more personality from her because she is one of them ones as well. Like she was in the final, she was going neck and neck with everybody. Like she's been a perennial one of them ones, right?
Right.
But like, of course, like, and I'm not
gotta make it wrestling.
I'm not telling her to be somebody that she's not. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure.
If she's Tim Duncan, she's Tim Duncan, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, but I would love for her to have an Asia Wilson type of personality because Asia is showing her personality. She, you know what I'm saying?
We love it. Like everybody loves Asia. Asia funny. Yeah. Asia's one of the best Twitter follows, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it helps. And it really like Asia always been a hooper.
I would love her.
But the lore of and attraction of Asia and everything is just it helps, and it helped the league too.
I want the PR team behind this. Then I want a PR
get somebody
do something. Make it beef, like you say, like make it wrestling. Do what you got to do. Like I say, you have more stars to do this. Like I said, I get it. Like you say, you keep piggybacking off Caitlin Clark. Like I get it, but she's not giving you. It's like she's really not giving you what you really want. Like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, get her on Brink's podcast. Maybe she's like Kawhi Leonard funny.
You know it's funny. They be like, bro, it's reverse racism how they talk about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Like she throws a Richard on and they ignore all that. They be like, nah, we don't care what she just said.
we gonna put race into this shit. God damn it.
So it's funny, man, and it's just I just wish that that they would just do a better job. But like I said, it's back. We got this game. Knicks might be crazy, man. Let me check the score before we get up out of here.
I think I might be able to just go ahead and finish watching a movie or something because this one might be over.
Yeah,
40 piece. Eat me a slice of carrot cake and call it a night.
Hold on. Let's see it. Did anybody help Jalen? Bro, ain't nobody help Jalen. No, did my update? Let me see.
81-46. God damn.
He the one. He got 18.
Well,
Still
see,
got
this
that
is the problem. I said go on Brink's podcast, not no podcast P. That shit gonna rub off on you. Did nobody tell you to do that? We said I specifically said Brink's podcast.
That's why you lost. That's why
Exactly.
you lost right there. You associate yourself with losers. Yeah, started losing.
What did Cat Williams say? You have an uncanny allegiance to losers or some shit like that. Yeah, get your ass off of Podcast P, because he had to change his name to Podcast P because he wasn't playoff P.
He deserved all of this. Hey, y'all can catch us on major podcast platform, 3Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. I'm Hill, that's AJ. Some of y'all looking forward. I'm on vacation next week, so we will have some guests next week, or we will be here next week. But at the end of the day, we appreciate y'all for supporting, and we are.